Nadsat is a fictional register or argot used by the teenagers in Anthony Burgess's novel A Clockwork Orange. In addition to being a novelist, Burgess was a linguist, and he used this background to depict his characters as speaking a form of Russian-influenced English. The name itself comes from the Russian suffix equivalent of teen as in 13. Nadsat was also used in Stanley Kubrick's film adaptation of the book. Description: Nadsat is a mode of speech used by the Nadsat, members of the teen subculture in the novel A Clockwork Orange. The anti-hero and narrator of the book, Alex, uses it in first-person style to relate the story to the reader. He also uses it to communicate with other characters in the novel, such as his droogs, parents, victims, and any authority figures with whom he comes in contact. As with many speakers of non-standard varieties of English, Alex is capable of speaking standard English when he wants to. It is not a written language. The sense that readers get is of a transcription of vernacular speech. Nadsat is basically English with some borrowed words from Russian. It also contains influences from Cockney rhyming slang, the King James Bible, the German language, some words of unclear origin, and some that Burgess invented. The word Nadsat is the suffix of Russian numerals from 11 to 19. The suffix is an almost exact linguistic parallel to the English teen, and is derived from th1/2 th degree, meaning on, and a shortened form of th micron nn and no, the number 10. Droog is Russian thn euro n florin th cubed close friend. Some of the words are also almost childish English, such as igayek and appy polylogy, as well as regular English slang sod and snuff it. The word like and the expression the old are often used as fillers or discourse markers. At least one translation of Burgess' book into Russian solved the problem of how to illustrate the Nadsat words, by using transliterated, slang English words in places where Burgess used Russian ones. However, this solution was imperfect as it lacked the original abstractness. Borrowed English words with Russian inflection were widely used in Russian slang, especially among Russian hippies. Another translation used the original English spelling of Nadsat terms. Function: Burgess, a polyglot who loved language in all its forms, was aware that linguistic slang was of a constantly changing nature. Burgess knew that if he used modes of speech that were contemporarily in use, the novel would very quickly become dated. His use of Nadsat was essentially pragmatic. He needed his narrator to have a unique voice that would remain ageless while reinforcing Alex's indifference to his society's norms, and to suggest that youth subculture existed independently of the rest of society. In A Clockwork Orange, Alex's interrogators describe the source of his argot as subliminal penetration. Russian influences play the biggest role in Nadsat. Most of those Russian-influenced words are slightly anglicized loan words, often maintaining the original Russian pronunciation. One example is the Russian word lyudi, which is anglicized to ludis, meaning people. Another Russian word is babushka, which is anglicized to babuochka, meaning grandmother, old woman. Some of the anglicized words are truncated, for example pony from ponomatar euro unregistered trademark, to understand, or otherwise shortened, for example vec from a lover copyright k, person, man. A further means of constructing Nadsat words is the employment of homophones. For example, one Nadsat term which may seem like an English composition, horror show, actually stems from the Russian word for good. Korosyu, which sounds similar to horror show. In the same manner many of the Russian loanwords become an English or Euro-Russian hybrid, with Russian origins, but English spellings and pronunciations. A further example is the Russian word for head, Gulliver, which sounds similar to Gulliver known from Gulliver a Euro unregistered trademark S travels. Consequently Gulliver becomes the Nadsat expression for the concept head. However, many of Burgess' loanwords, such as divochka and droog, maintain both their relative spelling and meaning over the course of translation. Word derivation by common techniques. In addition, Nadsat's English slang is constructed with common language formation techniques. Some words are blended, others clipped or compounded. In Nadsat language a fit of laughter becomes a guffaw. A skeleton key becomes a polyglot. And the state gel is blended to the stager. Many common English slang terms are simply shortened. A cancer stick, which is a common English slang expression for a cigarette, is shortened to a cancer. Rhyming slang: Charlie equals Chaplin. Chaplin and Chaplin are homophones. Using the principles of rhyming slang, Burgess uses Charlie Chaplin as a synonym for Chaplin, and shortens it to Charlie. Cutter equals money. Cutter rhymes with bread and butter, which is often used as another expression for income, or money. Pretty Polly equals money. Another colloquial expression used to describe the concept money is lolly. Lolly rhymes with Pretty Polly, which is the name of an English folk song, and in the world of A Clockwork Orange becomes a new expression for money. Hound and horny equals corny. See also, A Clockwork Orange, Runglish, List of fictional languages, Newspeak, Verlan. References. Bibliography: ALll, Geoffrey. Pelagius and Augustine in the Novels of Anthony Burgess. English Studies 55, 43 €55. Glade Sky, Rita K. Schema Theory and Literary Texts, Anthony Burgess, Nadsat. Language Quarterly 30, 39 €46. Saraji, T. Nation, I.S. Paul. Meister, G.F., Vocabulary Learning and Reading, System 6, 72 €78, doi, 10.1016/0346-251 times opening round bracket 78 closing round bracket 90027-1, Burgess, Anthony. You've Had Your Time. N.Y., Grove Weidenfeld. External links: Nadsat Dictionary, Hyman, Stanley Edgar. July, 1963. Published with A Clockwork Orange.